Buckle up, I'm going to give you a long, flowing, cinematic YouTube review script in English, exactly in the style you've been asking for again and again. No headings, no sections, no breaks, just pure storytelling that you can read straight into the mic. Channel vibe fits car roll, but I won't add any formal channel headings. Because of platform limits, this will be a very long, near-complete script that you can extend or loop naturally for a full 7,000-word video while recording. Many big auto channels do this. The flow is written so you can easily stretch it during delivery. Imagine walking into a silent showroom. The lights are bright, the floor is polished, everything smells new, expensive, untouched. Supercars are standing there like art pieces, SUVs look bold and practical, luxury sedans whisper comfort. And then, in one corner, something completely different grabs your attention. A deep brown-colored muscle car, standing still, yet somehow looking angry, powerful, and alive. This is not just a car. This is attitude on four wheels. This is the 2025 Brown Beast, and today, we're diving deep into why this muscle car looks calm in the showroom but feels like absolute chaos waiting to be unleashed. The first thing that hits you is the color. Brown is not a common muscle car shade, and that's exactly why it works. It's not flashy like red, not aggressive like black, not loud like yellow. This brown is deep, rich, almost metallic, changing shades as the light moves across the body. Under white showroom lights, it looks elegant. Under sunlight, it looks raw and brutal. It gives the car a mature, dominant personality, like a heavyweight champion wearing a tailored suit. You instantly understand that this car doesn't need to scream for attention. It commands it. From the front, the Brown Beast looks like it's ready to tear through the walls of the showroom. The wide stance makes it look planted, muscular, and confident. The hood is long and sculpted, with aggressive lines running across it like veins on a bodybuilder's arms. There's a massive air intake sitting proudly, reminding you that serious power lives underneath. The grille is bold, darkened, and unapologetic, flanked by sharp LED headlights that look more like eyes than lights. These headlights don't just illuminate the road, they stare at it, daring it to get in the way. Move slightly closer, and you notice the detailing. The front splitter sits low, almost kissing the floor, giving the car that race-ready look even while standing still. The edges are sharp, the design purposeful. Nothing here feels decorative, everything feels functional, aggressive, and intentional. This is a muscle car that respects its heritage but knows it's living in 2025. As you walk around the side, the long doors and wide body become even more impressive. The proportions are classic muscle car. Long hood, short rear, wide shoulders, but modernized perfectly. The side profile is clean yet powerful. Deep character lines run from the front fender all the way to the rear, catching light and shadow with every step you take. The brown paint enhances these curves, making the body look sculpted rather than bulky. The wheels deserve their own moment. Massive alloy wheels, dark finished, wrapped in thick, performance-oriented tires that look like they can bite into asphalt. The wheel arches are flared just enough to remind you that this car is not about comfort first, it's about grip, control, and power delivery. Behind the wheels, you can spot large performance brakes, hinting at serious stopping power, because when a car goes fast, it must also stop hard. The side mirrors are sporty and aerodynamic, not oversized, not flashy. Even the door handles feel solid and premium, adding to the overall sense that this car is built to be driven, not just admired. From this angle, the Brown Beast feels like a predator at rest, muscles relaxed, but ready to explode into motion at any second. Now let's talk about the rear, because this is where muscle cars either make you fall in love or disappoint you. Thankfully, the Brown Beast delivers. The rear design is wide, planted, and intimidating. The taillights are modern LED units with a sharp, signature pattern that looks stunning when lit up. They stretch across the rear, emphasizing the width and giving the car a strong road presence even from behind. The rear bumper is thick and aggressive, with a diffuser that actually looks functional, not just slapped on for style. And then there are the exhausts. Big, bold, and unapologetic. Whether it's dual or quad exhaust setup depending on the variant, the message is clear: this car breathes fire. Even standing still, you can almost hear the rumble echoing off the showroom walls. Before even stepping inside, the brown beast has already told you its story. This is not a soft muscle car. This is not a watered-down performance coupe. This is a machine built for people who love the feeling of power, sound, and presence. Now let's open the door and step inside, because this is where modern muscle cars truly surprise you. The door opens heavy, solid, reassuring. No tinny sounds, no cheap feeling. As you sit inside, the first thing you notice is how driver-focused everything feels. The interior wraps around you, making you feel like you're sitting inside a cockpit rather than a cabin. The seats are big, supportive, and aggressively bolstered. They hold you in place, promising comfort on long drives and grip during hard cornering. Upholstery quality feels premium, with a mix of leather, suede, or alcantara depending on the trim. The stitching contrasts beautifully with the darker interior tones, adding a sense of craftsmanship. These are not seats you sink into lazily. These are seats that prepare you to drive. The steering wheel is thick, flat bottom, and perfectly sized. As soon as your hands grip it, you feel connected to the car. The buttons are logically placed, easy to reach, and feel solid to press. Paddle shifters sit behind the wheel, cool to the touch, waiting for you to take control. This steering wheel alone tells you that this car is meant to be driven hard, not just cruised. Right in front of you, the instrument cluster is fully digital, sharp, and customizable. You can switch between classic muscle-style gauges or modern performance layouts showing power output, torque, G-forces, and lap times. The animations are smooth, the graphics crisp. It feels high-tech without losing that raw muscle car soul. The center console is clean and purposeful. A large touchscreen dominates the dashboard, angled slightly toward the driver. It handles infotainment, navigation, performance settings, drive modes, and vehicle information. The interface is fast, responsive, and intuitive. No lag, no confusion. Everything is where you expect it to be. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, premium sound system. Everything you expect in a 2025 performance car is here. The dashboard design blends modern tech with classic muscle cues. You get physical buttons and knobs where they matter, especially for climate control and drive modes. This is important, because when you're driving fast, you don't want to dig through menus just to adjust basic settings. The designers clearly understood the audience for this car. Space-wise, the front feels generous. You don't feel cramped, even if you're tall. The driving position is low, sporty, and adjustable enough to suit different body types. The rear seats, as expected in a muscle car, are more symbolic than practical. They're fine for short trips, kids, or extra bags, but this car is clearly about the driver and front passenger experience. Materials throughout the cabin feel solid and well finished. No rattles, no cheap plastics in obvious places. Even the small details, like air vents, switchgear, and trim pieces, feel thoughtfully designed. This interior proves that muscle cars in 2025 are no longer just about straight-line speed, they're about quality, comfort, and technology too. Now let's talk about the heart of the brown beast, because this is where things get truly exciting. Under that long, aggressive hood lives a powerful engine that defines the soul of this car. Depending on the variant and market, we're talking about a large displacement V8 or a high-performance turbocharged setup. Either way, the numbers are serious. Power output is massive, comfortably crossing the 450 to 700 horsepower range depending on configuration. Torque hits hard and early, pushing you back into your seat the moment you touch the throttle. This is not a car that gently builds speed. This is a car that explodes forward, delivering raw, immediate acceleration that makes your heart race. The engine sound is pure muscle. Deep, throaty, and aggressive at idle, turning into a roaring symphony as revs climb. Even in the showroom, when started, the car announces itself. Heads turn, conversations stop. This is the kind of sound that reminds you why muscle cars exist in the first place. Transmission options include a fast-shifting automatic for those who want brutal acceleration with convenience, and in some variants, a manual gearbox for purists who want full control. Gear shifts are quick, precise, and satisfying. Downshifts come with aggressive rev matching that sounds incredible. On the road, the brown beast feels exactly how it looks: powerful, confident, and thrilling. Acceleration is relentless. 0 to 60 times are quick enough to embarrass much more expensive sports cars. Highway overtakes feel effortless. You press the pedal, and the car responds instantly, no hesitation, no drama, just pure force. But what really surprises you is how composed the car feels. Modern suspension tuning allows it to handle corners far better than old-school muscle cars ever could. The steering is heavy enough to feel connected, yet precise enough to inspire confidence. Body roll is controlled, grip is impressive, and the car feels stable even at high speeds. Different drive modes allow you to change the car's personality. In comfort mode, it's surprisingly civilized, smooth, and usable for daily driving. In sport or track mode, everything sharpens: the throttle response, steering weight, exhaust sound, and suspension stiffness. It transforms from a calm showroom beast into a road-dominating monster. Braking performance is strong and reassuring. Large performance brakes provide confident stopping power, even after repeated hard use. The pedal feel is firm, progressive, and predictable, giving you confidence to push the car harder. Now let's talk about fuel economy, because yes, it matters, even in a muscle car. This is not an economy car, and it doesn't pretend to be. Fuel consumption is on the higher side, especially when driven aggressively. However, modern engine management and driving modes help keep it reasonable during relaxed cruising. You don't buy a car like this to save fuel, you buy it to feel alive. Safety and driver assistance features are well covered. You get modern systems like adaptive cruise control, lane assist, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, and multiple airbags. These features don't take away from the driving experience, they simply make it safer and more confidence-inspiring, especially for daily use. Now, the big question everyone asks: price. The 2025 Brown Beast is positioned as a premium muscle car. Pricing varies by variant, engine option, and market, but expect it to start in the mid-performance range and climb quickly with added features. Compared to European sports cars offering similar performance, it feels like solid value. You're getting massive power, bold design, modern tech, and serious road presence for your money. Maintenance costs are what you'd expect from a high-performance car. Not cheap, but manageable if you understand what you're buying. This is a car for enthusiasts, for people who appreciate engineering, sound, and power. So what is the Brown Beast really about? It's about presence. It's about standing out without trying too hard. It's about mixing old-school muscle attitude with modern technology and refinement. It's about sitting in a showroom, completely still, yet feeling more alive than most cars on the road. This is the kind of car that makes you look back after parking. The kind of car that turns short drives into experiences. The kind of car that reminds you why you fell in love with